Federal government deploys 10,000 troops to combat vandals as opposition NLC protests Rivers emergency status. PDP, Adeleke protest as APC pushes for emergency rule in Osun State. NEMA confirms 6 dead, 18 vehicles destroyed in Abuja truck explosion. On the foreign scene, UK to host fresh Ukraine peacekeeping talks. Good afternoon and welcome to the news update on Trust TV. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. We start with some breaking news from the National Assembly, where the House of Representatives has approved President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State following a request submitted by the President on Thursday. During the plenary, Representative Ali Isa JC proposed an amendment to review the duration of the emergency rule from 6 months. A motion that was seconded by Representative Miriam Onwa and subsequently adopted by the House. Speaker Tajuddin Abbas conducted a voice vote to confirm the approval and announced that 243 lawmakers were in attendance according to the day's register.
Support of this request of Mr. President as amended should say aye. Aye. Those in support of this request from Mr. President as amended should say aye. Aye. Those against should say nay. There is have it. Thank you very much.
By staying with developments in Rivers, the federal government has deployed 10,000 Nigerian security and civil defense corps personnel to curb further attacks on oil pipelines against the backdrop of the blast at oil installations in Rivers State between Sunday and Tuesday. The NSCDC spokesperson Afolabi Babawale confirmed the deployment of anti-vandal operatives on Wednesday, stating that the operatives were tasked with protecting critical infrastructure and preventing pipeline vandalism, particularly in the Niger Delta. This came as opposition lawmakers and organized labor protested the imposition of emergency rule in Rivers State by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The president, in a national broadcast on Tuesday, announced the suspension of Governor Siminalayi Fubara, his deputy, Professor Ngozi Odu, and the State Assembly members. He also nominated Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Bas, retired, as the state's sole administrator. Ibas was sworn in on Wednesday at the Asrock Villa and will administer Rivers State for an initial period of 6 months. Before the declaration of the state of emergency, the political atmosphere in Rivers State was charged, leading to 3 explosions within the space of 2 days. Meanwhile, the Osun State government and the ruling People's Democratic Party PDP in the state on Wednesday berated the All Progressives Congress and its National Secretary Ajibola Basiru over their call on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to extend emergency rule imposition in Osun State. The Osun State Commissioner for Information and Civic Engagement, Kolapo Alimi, described the call for emergency rule in the state as callous and, quote, self-centered and unlawful. On Tuesday, the president declared a state of emergency in Rivers, suspending Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy, as well as the members of the Rivers State House of Assembly, for a period of 6 months. In Osun State, the ruling PDP and the opposition APC are fighting for control of the local government areas. At the peak of the crisis, about 3 weeks ago, at least 6 persons were killed, while the local government secretariats have become non-functional after workers withdrew their services for their safety and fear of being caught in the middle of the political violence. Back in Basiru, the Osun APC urged the president to extend the emergency rule to Osun State. The National Emergency Management Agency on Thursday confirmed 6 fatalities, while the number of injured persons is yet to be determined in the tank explosion along the AYA-Karu Expressway in Abuja. The agency also says the injured victims have been taken to the National Hospital and State House Clinic, as well as Karu General Hospital and the Customs Clinic in Karu for medical attention. In a post on X, its handle, NEMA stated that it received a distress call about a major road crash involving a compressed natural gas truck that lost control and crashed into another truck along AYA-Karu Expressway on Wednesday at about 7 p.m. It says the crash involved 16 cars and 2 trucks. Scenes of the aftermath of that tanker explosion in Abuja. Now, constituents of Kogi Central Senatorial District have initiated a recall process against Senator Natasha Akpoti-Oduaghan, citing a vote of no confidence in her representation. The recall process, witnessed in Okehi local government area on Wednesday, saw a large number of electorates on queue to support the recall process. One of the electorates says the exercise is being carried out beyond party lines because of the growing dissatisfaction among constituents of the area. The recall process is expected to take 2 days across all polling units in the 5 local government areas of the district. Moving on to some of the day's other news, the Borno State government's continued donation of operational assets to combat insurgency has significantly contributed to restoring peace in the affected communities. Recently, Governor Babagana Zulum provided security agencies with 610 patrol vehicles and motorcycles to enhance security operations and combat criminal activities in the state. In this report, Trust TV's Beatrice Kurutsi examines the impact of these interventions and their effect on the security landscape in Borno State.
For over a decade, Borno State has remained the epicenter of insurgency, with communities suffering relentless attacks that claimed thousands of lives and displaced millions. The destruction of critical infrastructure and properties at the peak of the conflict further compounded the crisis. Security agencies have been at the forefront of efforts to contain the threats posed by non-state actors, but sustained government support remains crucial. Recognizing security as a top priority, Governor Zulum in his first tenure provided over 1,000 surveillance vehicles and operational logistics to the military, civilian joint task force and other security agencies. Similar interventions followed in 2022 and 2023 with the distribution of armored vehicles and motorcycles to enhance security operations. Stakeholders say these interventions have significantly reduced insurgent activities and facilitated the state government's resettlement initiatives.
And the crime, if not responded in a very shortest time, it will put more, or it will make more damages to the state or to the people. Therefore, if as they have the vehicles now and they have been doing well, and now they will double their effort by God's grace.
Almost now we are into 87% of this insurgency we have achieved. These are recent motorcycle and motor when our governor given to the security personnel, she had to boost the morale of the security issues. Kuma definitely has already boosted.
Building on this effort, the state government recently donated an additional 500 motorcycles 280 housing units and 110 vehicles to the Inspector General of Police and the Nigerian Army to enhance rapid response to security threats and tackle terrorism and criminal activities. Governor Zulum emphasized that the donations would bolster security operations and maintain law and order.
I'm glad to note that our donations today fully identified gaps in the operational domains of our security architecture. At the core of our gaps analysis, it became apparent that vehicles and motorcycles will go a long way in building up the efficiency, mobility, and agility of our security agencies. Without a sound mobility backup, these forces will find it difficult to confront challenges ahead.
Senior security officers at the event commended the governor for the provision of operational assets, acknowledging that they would be effectively utilized for their intended purpose.
I also want to assure you, Your Excellency, that these vehicles, these operational assets are going to be put into immediate operational use for the enhancement of security.
These items will be put into judicious use, and I assure His Excellency that all personnel will utilize this to ensure that they create the enabling environment for all other items of governance to thrive.
With these reinforcements, stakeholders believe security in Borno State will improve, allowing socio-economic activities to thrive without disruption. Bitrus Kuruti, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
Lagos-based National Youth Service Corps member Usie Ugumaye recently sparked controversy after a video of her openly criticizing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu went viral. In the video, where she was scathing of the economic situation in the country, expressing her frustration over Nigeria's worsening economic conditions and questioning the government's effort to alleviate the citizens' hardship. Now, following the video circulation, Ugumaye claimed she had received warnings from the NYSC board cautioning her against making political statements online. Now, this development has ignited a public debate on whether Corps members have the right to express their views on governance and national issues. The question now is, are Corps members free to express themselves? Noel Sampson has the respondents in this report.
Section 39 of the 1999 Constitution, which guarantees the right to freedom of expression, states that every person shall be entitled to freedom of expression, including freedom to hold opinions and to receive and impart ideas and information without interference. According to legal experts who spoke off camera and civil society organizations, this provision allows the Corps member to express our opinion without fear or intimidation.
According to the Supreme Court, after the 2020 general election, it said that the Supreme Court stated that a guideline cannot subsume a law or the Constitution, and the NYSC, by that logic, the NYSC guideline cannot subsume this girl's constitutional backing rights that gives her the freedom to express.
What the NYSC guideline says cannot overtake what the Constitution says on free speech. She's a Nigerian. She's protected under the Constitution to have free speech, freedom of thought, freedom of speech, and to contribute as much as she can to conversations and to the building of Nigeria as a country.
If you look at the provisions in the NYSC guideline, there was nothing that actually stated expressly that what she did was wrong, right? So I think that is where I would say the NYSC is caught in the web. She's first Nigerian. And every one of us are seeing what is happening in terms of whatever it is, in terms of the economy of the country, inflation and all of those things. So the question for me would be like, does she have the right to express that concern at that given time? For me, absolutely yes.
However, the NYSC bylaws states that any Corps member who engages in partisan politics is liable to an extension of service for a period no less than 3 months without pay. This raises questions as to whether or not her statement was political.
What she had spoken was not political in any sense or in any way. She just communicated her issues and grievances as a citizen of the country. And let's be frank, 33,000 naira monthly is very, very small for anybody to survive with.
If She cannot complain about things that affect her as a Nigerian without it being made to be political. I mean, that's unfair. So no, I do not see that statement as a political statement.
Meanwhile, some residents of the Federal Capital Territory have also shared their views on the matter.
This situation it feels complicated. It looks complicated because you can't hold someone from speaking out their mind. She spoke her mind, and you don't know what has been going on through on her side, that it's got to the head that she had to just say something about it.
I won't say what she did was right or wrong, but I would say that, okay, every human being, every Nigerian, every citizen has every right to express whatever frustration that they are going under. And for people quoting the NYSC bylaws, yes, in the NYSC bylaw, every one of us that have graduated, most of us have gone for the service. And we know that in the bylaws, we know that, okay, you're not supposed to grant probably press interviews on policy issues or political issues as a core member. But it does not say you're not supposed to say anything, as in voice out your opinion on frustrations that you're facing. Going forward, I think it will also be a lesson to others going forward. Nobody is saying that we should not voice out our frustration, but we should do it with tact.
As of press time, officials of the NYSC declined comments on the matter. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
To Adamawa State now, where the State Action on Business Enabling Reforms has donated a set of laptops to magistrates in the state to help boost judicial efficiency and digitalize court proceedings. The laptops were formally presented by Dr. Bello Abubakar, the SEBA focal person in state, during a brief ceremony at the State Judiciary Headquarters in Yola. Trust TV's Gibson Swadigo was there and now reports.
Governor Manuel Fintri has introduced sweeping reforms in the Adamawa State Judiciary aimed at enhancing efficiency, inclusivity, and innovation. One key reform is the establishment of small claims courts across all senatorial zones, designed to facilitate swift resolution of commercial disputes. To further these efforts, the governor approved the procurement of laptops for magistrates, thereby advancing justice delivery through the State's Action on Business Enabling Reforms initiative. During the presentation, SABA's focal person, Dr. Bello Abubakar Song, highlighted that the donation aligns with SABA's mission to strengthen institutions and promote ease of doing business in the state. He reaffirmed the organization's commitment to supporting judiciary by leveraging technology to improve service delivery.
Today we are giving handheld device to enhance the performance of the magistrates that are handling the cases. Part of the requirement of the SABA is for each court to submit execution report on a monthly basis, and that report are being uploaded on the judiciary website so that citizens can have access to such cases that have been determined by such small claim courts.
Adamawa State Chief Judge Honorable Justice Afsat Abdurrahman, who accepted the laptops, expressed gratitude for the gesture, emphasizing its crucial role in modernizing the judicial system.
With the presentation of this laptop, is going to aid the magistrate working on the small claim, who are in the small claims courts, because they can now transmit their reports, their monthly returns, very easy. You don't need, even at the comfort of their house.
Special Advisor to the Adamawa State Governor on ICT and e-governance, Dr. Adamu Ahmanjam, along with Barrister Sunday Wigira, commended Governor Fintri for his transformative judicial reforms. They noted that the laptops are expected to streamline case management, facilitate legal research, and improve documentation processes, reducing the reliance on manual record keeping and expediting court proceedings.
Administration of justice, if simplified, that will help people to have confidence in the regulatory environment and be able to take risks and be able to bring in their capital, be able to come and stay here in Adamawa State.
And with these machines, work would be
less cumbersome for the magistrates. There are applications that they will put to use to make things easy with research, resource materials, accessibility. Or there is none of this that cannot contain Law Pavilion, Nigerian Weekly Law Reports, All Federation Weekly Law Reports online.
This is the second time Sabah has provided systems to the Adamawa State Judiciary to enhance justice delivery. Gibson Soadugo, Trust TV News, Yola.
To Bauchi State, where the government has distributed Ramadan assorted food items to various groups and organizations, especially those within the vulnerable group cadre across the 20 local government areas of the state. The distribution of the items through the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs is part of the efforts by the Bala administration to address food crisis during the ongoing Ramadan season and Lent period for both Christians and Muslims in Bauchi State. Trust TV's Adamu Imam has more.
The distribution of food items began with the assorted grains sent to all 20 local government areas, with beneficiaries converging at different warehouses for collection. The State Governor Bala Mohammed, represented by the Commissioner of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, Hajaraya Kubwanka, said the distribution was in collaboration with the Aliko Dangote Foundation.
This is generosity extended to the state, and we feel it's important to invite in people, particularly the beneficiaries of today that we're flagging up with, the local government chairman. And I'm glad and thank you so much that you're all here with us. And this to show Dangote Foundation how committed our local government chairman are. And to show you that this gesture or what you have brought is truly going to the people that deserve it most.
And gratitude. First to His Excellency, our mentor, distinguished Senator Bala Mohammed Gaurambochi, which we are all witnessed that a couple of weeks ago, he also, in his own wisdom, flagged up the distribution of this kind of palliative, and it went around all the 20 local government, and we appreciate his wisdom, we appreciate his commitment, we appreciate his sacrifice in service to humanity.
While welcoming the gesture, the Chief Imam of the Central Mosque Bauchi, Bala Baban Inna, and the Chairman Christian Association of Nigeria Khan, Abraham Damina, appreciated Governor Bala for his generosity towards the people of the state.
I'm urging the beneficiaries of these items to use it judiciously and thank the givers of the item for a job well done, and also urge them to do more.
What else can we say than to say we keep praying for him? The Lord will increase him. The Lord will keep him safe. And for those of you that are taking your time to come here, I want to tell you sincerely speaking that we love you all. The Lord will bless you.
Meanwhile, other groups are expected to receive their food palliative through their leadership, according to plan by the State Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
To developments on the international scene, the UK will today, Thursday, host a closed meeting of senior military officers from the Coalition of the Willing as they draw up plans for a proposed peacekeeping force for Ukraine. More than 20 countries are thought to be involved. Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer is expected to attend on Thursday afternoon after first visiting Barrow, where he is due to lay the keel of one of Britain's next generation of nuclear-armed submarines. Plans for a Western-led peacekeeping force for Ukraine are set to be moving to an operational phase. Senior military officers from nations that make up the, quote, Coalition of the Willing, led by Britain and France, are due to discuss this would work in practice when they gather at the UK's permanent joint headquarters in Northwood. Well, that is it. You're up to date with the latest news stories at this hour. Thank you most kindly for joining us. Feel free, as always, to stay in touch by following us across our social media platforms. You can also visit our website, trusttv.com, for the latest news, programs, and documentaries. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. Thank you for your time. Good afternoon.